Hi everyone, and welcome back to Words of Wisdom Wednesday. Hey everyone. Okay, so I hope you're having a wonderful week. We are in May. And for me, I work for a church. So a little bit about me. My name is Victoria Waco. I am a Catholic faith formation person. I'm also a stepmom, wife, and I live in Western New York. I'm also a former pageant competitor. I currently work as an interview coach and also do some production for pageantry. So I've had my hand in a lot of different areas throughout my life. But one of the topics that I've kind of become someone who talks a lot about, I guess, is this idea of being motherless. So, long story short, you can look at some other videos I've posted in the past. Sorry, the quality isn't that great in the video quality, but I lost my mom when I was 10 years old. It is a still unsolved case. It's one of the longest unsolved cases in the county I grew up in. And I am now 33 years old. So I've been with my mom for 23 years. And as a child, it was very hard. And it actually kind of got harder in my early 20s. So if you are someone who doesn't have a mom, who's lost a mom, if you're someone who is a caregiver for a child who lost a mom, and you stumble across this video, these are just kind of the things that I have learned, and some of my coping things that I have kind of used, especially around the month of May and especially around Mother's Day. And some of these are in a faith-based context, and some of them are just really general things that maybe are able to help you. So here we go. These are my top 5 tips. My first one is don't put pressure on it. Don't think you should feel a certain way about this holiday. Don't think that you should act a certain way on this holiday. And if you're a caregiver, just don't, let the child lead you. I think that was one of the best things people did for me as a child, is they let me kind of form my own thoughts on what this holiday was for me and how I wanted to celebrate, how I wanted to honor my mom. If I was in a place I could honor her, there were a couple of years where it was such a fresh wound that I just would rather pretend the day didn't exist, honestly. So, and I wasn't made to feel bad about that. I was made to just allow to process that. So just let the child lead and don't try to make the holiday into something it's not. I also went through a period where I felt like I had to do something to honor my mom. I had to figure out some way of doing it. And I don't need to, right? Like, everyone deals with it differently. My other tip, kind of offshooting that, especially if your child is in school, is one of the great things that my teachers did. And if you're a caregiver, this might be something to bring up with the teachers, especially when it comes to those days like making the present, is my teachers kind of just gave me the choice if I wanted to, or they would allow me to go somewhere else and they would work with other teachers in the building. I would go to the library sometimes and like watch a cartoon. I did lots of different things, but that was really great to me that I was allowed to either do the craft if I wanted to. I was allowed not to do it. I was allowed to kind of work with my teacher and figure that out. And so if you're a caregiver, I think that's a wonderful thing to also talk about. That was also really similar one time. My mom is actually buried in the historical cemetery for our town. And so there's actually field trips to that cemetery. And my teachers were smart enough to, when that field trip was coming up, being like, hey, do you want to go? Do you want to stay home? Like, what do you want to do about this? And letting me kind of make the decision for myself. In that case, I decided I really didn't want to go. It just was not a place I was comfortable yet at being, and I wasn't comfortable being with a bunch of other people there. So that's another thing, especially if your child's in school. Right, this year it doesn't really matter because I'm making this in 2020 and we're in the middle of the stay-at-home order, so there's nothing going on in schools for Mother's Day right now. My third tip is really a faith-based one, so you can forward through this or take it with a grain of salt. I'm not here to push anything on anyone, but this is just something that has helped me. Is I started to really, really use that time as a time of prayer, as a time of devotion to Mary, our mother. I'm a Catholic, so we have many prayers to Mary. to pray with Mary to intercede for us. So that was really something that I came to really use a lot and honor a lot. And someday maybe I'll make a video about my faith journey and the role Mary played in that. But during this time, it still is a time that I like to pray the rosary more. I like to just feel that connection to Mary and to my mom in heaven, and that whole thing. So that's really something that has helped me. But if you're not Catholic and so you don't have devotionals to Mary, even just praying for the soul of your mom, if you are at all faith-based, can be really, really helpful, and I really strongly encourage it. So there you go. My fourth thing that helps me in the month of May, and especially in Mother's Day, is finding other people to celebrate. And this is just kind of my personality, especially as I've gotten older, is I don't have a mom to directly honor, right, or celebrate. But I have been, at times, I bring flowers to everyone I work with who's a mom. I have, sent cards to special people in my life who are moms or who have been like a mom to me, thanking them for that role. So Mother's Day doesn't just have to be about honoring our earthly mother, right? Like I said, I honor my mother in heaven, and I honor women who have played a maternal role in my life, and recognize and thanking them for that role, because I think we never get any place alone, right? And we are never an island onto ourselves. So to me, that's huge. And that has been a huge thing that has helped me, especially as I've gotten older with Mother's Day. And I'm not a mom yet. I don't have children of my own. So that is something I like to do too, to honor people in my life. My fifth thing is to, this is kind of my last one, is to pamper yourself and really, really self-care around this time, right? Probably even more so now. Like I said, it's 2020 if you're watching this. We're in the middle of a stay-at-home order. And I really, I could feel so bad during this time. Right? There were times I felt mad at myself or angry at myself or feeling very awkward about myself because I didn't have a mom. And I felt all these people got to do fun things with their moms during this time. And so I really just allowed myself to have fun and do things for myself. And, also as an avoidance technique, hey, go spend a whole day at the day spa and don't look on Facebook at everyone's posts. You can do that. Or, I do right now at home facials, but I think that's huge. Take care of yourself and recognize that something that's always helped me is by taking care of myself, by honoring myself, by, pampering myself in a time that might not feel that great. I really am honoring my mother because I am from my mom. She created me. And even though she's not here to celebrate Mother's Day with me, I am, and this is why I created Annie's Victory, because ultimately children are the victory of their parents, right? My mom, greatest victory is having me and what I've been able to do in the world as her legacy. And so taking some time to pamper myself has been huge, to just remember that and to connect with her in that way. So as a quick review, my top 5 tips: don't expect much. If you're, don't expect or make expectations how you should feel, act, be, whatever. Whatever happens and however you need to be is how you have to be, right? This is about taking care of ourselves. 2, if you are in school, if you're a caregiver for a child in school, make a connection with that teacher and just talk about how this might be difficult, or just be in community with them. And if you are a teacher and you might have a child going through something, think of options for that child so that they don't feel excluded, but they also feel like I'm being recognized that this is something hard for me. 3, for me personally, like I said, prayer and also devotionals to Mary during this time of the year, and thanking Mary, my mother in heaven, for all that she does to help protect me on earth is huge. And just asking for her intercession on behalf of my mother and all those I love in heaven. The next one is, of course, self-care, all that kind of stuff, guys. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself. Seriously. And do what you have to, really. It's not the end of the world. And be okay with that. Okay? And honor other women. That was my last one. Honoring other women who might not be your earthly mother, but might have had a maternal role in your life. And you will not believe, for me, giving is such a way of making me feel just better. So those are my top 5. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys back next week. All right. Be well, take care of yourselves, and if you're interested in more content about this kind of journey of being I've been on without having a mom, leave comments. If you have questions, things you want me to talk more about, I am totally willing to do any of that. So have a great day, everyone, and I will talk to you all soon. Be well.